Um. Brian, you don't want to go to St. Kitts and Nevis?
Tickets
Oh,
in Nevis? No.
dude, that's a fucking grand just to fly there. St. Kitts and Nevis expensive? Question mark. Whoa. Well, you just scared Ethan and Brandon. Both at the same time? No, no, no. No, Brandon's shitting his pants right now.
You're damn right I am.
Oh, yes. St. Kitts and Nevis. You don't know St. Kitts and Nevis? Or Bermuda. It's going great because I've been playing St. Kitts and Nevis and Bermuda recently. And Albania. And Algeria. And Syria. What other countries we got, Brandon? Dude, what underground?
Tunisia, Serbia, Bulgaria, Belarus,
Brunei.
Belgium, Germany, Luxembourg,
Brunei.
Liechtenstein, Brunei,
Sierra Leone.
Burundi, Togo, Burkina Faso, South Africa,
Trinidad
Zimbabwe,
and
Zambia,
Togo.
Mozambique,
Tonga.
Cameroon,
Chad.
Tanzania,
Oh my gosh.
Chad, Niger, Nigeria, Central African Republic, DRC.
Wait, we didn't get
Republic of Congo, Morocco, Libya, Liberia, Algeria, Albania, Egypt. There you go.
hold up.
Morocco, Mali, Malawi, Mauritania, Papua New Guinea, Guinea. What else? The Ivory Coast.
Preston, did you just are you turning lights on out there or off?
Oh wait,
Oh,
Kenya,
shit.
Uganda, South Sudan.
Yeah, do you like
Ethiopia,
Zambia, Preston?
Somaliland. I'm trying to see.
Zambia and Gambia?
Eritrea. Wait, what's the other one?
Eritrea? Oh, I love
Oh,
Eritrea and the blood
Eswatini.
mining diamonds. Eswatini? Which
Botswana.
Swahili? Swahili. That's in Botswana. Yeah, we haven't gotten any of those countries yet. I'm sure if we get far enough, we'd be able to get those countries in the flag game.
No,
I don't want to
There's
visit
just
any
a
of
bunch
those African countries.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, see Saint Neats and Nevis. Preston, you see that? It's the score I gotta get. Gotta write it down.
That actually
Gotta
might
write
be
that
right.
down. That's the score I gotta get.
It's either that or Europe.
Gotta write it down. The GMAT.
I only say
Top
maybe
90%.
Europe, 'cause I know France holds a lot of
No,
territories.
probably not that much longer. Cause I gotta travel to whatever on Monday. So.
Auckland. What I just.
Ooh. Oh man. Alright. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, good night, little boy. Oh well. Hey Brandon, you don't know this, but I gotta go to New Orleans on Monday.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What for?
No, it's not. It's not that close. It's an hour drive. It's gonna be an hour drive probably. It's gonna be Yep. I gotta go to the Superdome, so. It's the Jet Stadium. No, I have to. I have to. I have no clue. That's a great question. It's for work.
Ain't no rent. All the money's gone.
I don't know exactly what I'm doing for that, but I have apparently the firm I'm currently at is auditing the Superdome or Caesars Superdome, so we get to go meet with some of the executives and we gotta go ask them some questions and a bunch of shit. So I gotta go over there with my, I guess the manager or senior associate. I think senior associate. Great dude. I don't know. my first like actual like client visit. I've been doing like actual like work, but this is more so like the interview part of it where you get try to get or not. This is one of many, I'm sure, like a lot. So I don't know.
Mm.
No, no, no. That is, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Weston would disagree. What? Yeah. No, what Weston knows. He knows. Yeah, Weston knows. No, he got off a while ago.
Sweet dream.
Fucking no. He's, if anything, Brandon will let him, or let Weston live with him. Probably, most likely.
What about Weston? What'd you say to me?
He's gonna move with you.
Boy, I know you ain't saying shit about.
Yeah, he said he wants to. He said he's
But
excited.
boy, I know you ain't talking shit about me, boy.
I'm just telling you. Maybe I am. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's top 5. You gotta just know that Weston's top 5.
You gotta roll with the punch.
Literally top 7 actually. Weston is top 7. Um, yep, top 7 in leaderboards. He's been doing some good stuff. These top 7 in leaderboards for doing Weston things. No, no, Weston sucks dick at that. Just,
Ah!
I don't know about that. I guess Power Worlds is not going super well.
Hey, bet your ass.
No.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of power washing right now.
Gee. Um, Daniel does not like power washing. The top 5 game of all time. Top 5. I have it downloaded right now.
That's one of my favorite games.
It is multiplayer. Me and Brandon are currently playing it right now. No, I'm telling you, we're watching the car. There's a truck, like Brandon's getting under the car right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
just,
Shrek.
yeah, I love his onions and his onion soup.
Yeah, you like his onions too, huh? Sounded a little
Yep.
gay if you ask me, but whatever.
Whoa. That is
I did say
true.
that.
It is true. There's a lot of onions, and Brandon's a very layered person, so he's basically an onion.
Gavin, what do you know about the band Tiger Cub?
Never heard of him.
Really?
That's new. Never heard of him.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like the same thing as like. So Brandon, how many? Let's. What what Slipknot songs do you know? Just out of curiosity. Don't say we
Or
better not say
what?
duality. We better not say
Oh,
our favorite
no, it's
songs is
eyeless.
duality. Hylas, well that's better than Shiloh saying it's duality or Wait and Bleed. Those are
Duality's not.
only 2.
Oh, Blade is pretty good though.
She only knows 2 songs.
Really?
2 songs.
She
What a
doesn't know like
fucking poser. No, she doesn't know anything heavier than that.
fuck. God. Maybe I'm forgetting the songs too.
Well, you're forgetting's much better than not just knowing too. Who?
Wait, now I kind of have to.
And
What?
Brandon? Yeah.
Who?
Brandon,
Shiloh?
No, Shiloh has
Oh,
fucking horrible
me.
taste in music.
I would say I have good taste in music.
I know it. Yeah, no, uh,
Not to toot my own horn, but
you're not the Yankee iron chain, I see. You know what?
dude,
I
wait,
think you're gonna
what?
be alright, Dan. I think you're
I
gonna be
actually don't know
okay.
why I'm unable to fucking think of any other Slipknot song. Oh, Spit It Out. Oh my God.
No.
And Psychosocial. What are we
Yeah.
doing, bro?
He's
You ever
born
heard of the
feeding his
song
fish.
Circle by Slipknot? It's
I
actually like
do.
more of a lighter song.
Oh,
That's a
it's
good song.
Circle. Oh my gosh, Circle is on. That's on Volume 3. Yeah, that's like the fucking. For some reason, that song always reminded me of like some. I wouldn't say country song, but it certainly has the fucking feeling because it's the guitar. Yeah, that's on Volume 3. I remember that song. It's been a while since I've heard it, but The Circle is a good song. I forget what it's about, but I'm pretty sure it's just about Corey Taylor's like life experiences or some shit. I don't remember, but I do like that song though. Weston would disagree. Actually, I think he likes that album. Actually, he just doesn't like Duality because it's Weston. But that is a good album, though. I like all of their albums. I like that one probably the most. I think it's most consistent. So. There's some
All
shitters
right.
on it. But
Well, you want to listen to a song real quick? I'll recommend something to you.
no, go ahead.
It's called "Fall In, Fall Out" by Tiger Cub.
No, so this is the Tiger Cut. What the genre is this?
The guitar, whoever the guitarist is really good.
We're gonna look it up real quick because I am curious now. I'm just gonna stickler for guitar. Fuck the police. Coming in
The
from
Police
the
are
other.
pretty good. I like
The
them.
police are Steve Copeland. Yeah, he's a great drummer. He's very interesting.
R.I.P. Jim Morrison.
Yeah, you love Jim Morrison. He liked like 16-year-olds. He's a big 16-year-old type of guy.
Well, didn't he play for the what is it?
The Doors. Yeah.
That's what I
Jim
thought it
Morrison
was.
had like a weird thing with like 15-year-olds. He was a good singer. He's a legend, but he died. That was like 60s, 70s. Well, he was
I think
old
he
as
just,
fuck. That's
yeah, I'm
why.
pretty sure he just died. Just old age. Yeah.
I like how the first thing I looked up with that was Tiger Woods. Tiger Cubs hedge fund was the second thing that popped up. It's an elite hedge fund trained under Julian Robertson and his legendary Tiger management. Yeah, if I'm gonna try to get into a hedge fund later on. You can make some money in those things. You're not gonna usually break into a hedge fund like automatically, and it doesn't matter what school you go to, unless you just happen to really know somebody, or you happen to just go to Harvard or Stanford or Wharton. You gotta go to those three to get into that, or maybe U Chicago. No, it's in California. Um, uh, yeah, Brandon, I'm taking the fucking GMAT next summer.
Hell yeah.
Taking the GMAT. I gotta get in the 90th percentile. And I don't even know what it stands for, but it's the exam you need to get into top business schools. You need to get a really good score. So for me, it's like 650. I'm trying to at least peak. No, the LSAT. I love the LSAT. The score. I think the school I legitimately, at least, I think I'll probably be able to like peak at. Literally, if I aim at, I'm trying to get a 650, which I don't. You probably don't know the scoring system because it just changed, but that's 98th percentile, which isn't bad. I think the top, literally, I don't think I'm gonna get probably higher than this. I need 5 years of or 4 years of work experience first, and I have uh, potentially jammed up. No, well, that's gonna be insane. It gets harder every time you get a question right. It gets harder if you get one. If you get every time you get a question wrong, the next question is easier. That's how the exam works. Top school that I'm gonna try to probably peak out at. I think realistically, if I get this score, which I'm gonna study for about 400, almost 500 hours next summer for, is probably Columbia. I think that's probably my top, and I think that's like ranked number 9 for business schools. That doesn't even mean I'm gonna get in, but that's the one I think I have the best shot out of like the top 10. So I would like to get in that one. That is in New York, telling you. Or Cornell's the other one. Cornell's probably my set number 2. I think I can get into that one. I think if I this is the score I'm aiming for is above their median, so I could probably get into that deferred, which I'm trying to get in deferred before I apply full time in 4 years. To have a seat locked down. So Columbia is better than Cornell. What they both lead to the same path. They both have the same program, but that's what I'm gonna spend my time next summer doing. So
I will be
what?
spending.
No, it'll be 5 hours a day studying. No, if I get the job for my internship in the spring, if I get the job lined up from then yes, then I will be not working during that summer. So what were you gonna say, Brandon?
I'll be spending the next 6 months studying for the yeah,
Let's say MCAT. Oh shit.
and then yeah. So since I'll be working and not in school, I should be able to get all the studying done by January and
Oh,
take it
good
by
luck,
January.
Britain. That would be crazy. I remember that.
Very.
Hall. Oh, what that is.
Yeah, I have these big ass books.
See, there's like, you gotta shoot for the moon with these things. You gotta. Only a couple of people I know that are shooting for the stars in terms of careers. Brandon's one of them.
Oh yeah.
Like jobs, Brandon's one of them. That's what you gotta do. You gotta take the. You gotta go to. You gotta go to the good. Well, you gotta go down the good routes in general. Not a whole lot of people. Obviously, people can do whatever they want to do, but I'm just saying. I'd like to not work till I'm 65. So, trying to be aggressive, trying to make the money, and not trying to be Jared and going into like sales. Not that you can't make money in sales. You certainly can. You can make a ton. You can make millions in sales, but you gotta be a good fucking salesman to do so. Not that I would want to do that though. I just think that I think it's I don't know. Not my fault. You gotta do that. Yeah, that's why I convinced Preston to want to go to law school. I convinced pushed Ethan towards the law school direction too. Hopefully, we'll see if those two follow. We'll see. But everybody else, I don't know. Rexy will be fine. And then, you know, and I don't know. There's really most people. Brandon, you saw that Taylor or that your boy Taylor McDonald? He's like doing some shit with like flooring or counter retop, remodeling in bathrooms or some shit.
I don't doubt it. I think that's what his parents owned a business like that, I think.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that literally. I think Ben reposted that somewhere, and I was like,
Yeah,
damn, I guess good
I'm
for him for running that shit.
almost certain his parents did pretty much the same thing.
That's a, it's not bad actually. If you got
No, it was
business ways, I mean
very
that's
good. I mean,
respectable. At least he's not. Weston said he used to live next to him. So when Weston used to live in a really nice house. So I'm sure his parents made some good money off of it. But so it's just the fact. I didn't really mind Taylor. I didn't mind him, but at least he's not like just sitting there just doing nothing. So you know, like
well,
Weston.
like Blaine Amari will be inheriting his dad's
Yeah.
like restaurants and shit like that.
Blaine or Brennan or both.
And then
That's I don't. I think
oh,
he's gonna sell it off. I don't know if he's gonna work in it. He may work in it though.
talking
I
about
completely.
Brennan.
Yeah, no, Blaine and Brennan. I don't know. I don't know what Blaine's been doing with this shit. I haven't talked to that kid in a while, like a long time. So I don't know what he's gonna do with that. I'm sure they're both probably in the restaurant business though. So I mean, they may stick
Yeah,
in it. They just may do management on it, which that would probably be the best idea instead of just selling it off. But I'm sure they already had a lot of money to begin with, from what I remember hearing, like back in school. So if you have that many chains going on, you got some money. All right, Daniel, what are we playing, by the way? Outside of that, I don't remember. Yes, Daniel. Yeah, I don't really know too many people that are necessarily like super ambitious though, Brandon. At least that we went to school with. Couldn't tell you. Not a whole lot.
probably not.
How to take this risk. You gotta get big or go home, Daniel. Gotta go big or go home. Shit, I don't know. That was yours. Certainly wasn't mine. Mine just don't, mine just don't. Mm, no, I'm not trying your best. Everybody can try their best. No, mine was, what was mine? I used to have it actually on Facebook a long time ago. And now our failures lead to our greatest successes. That's what mine was, which is true. I can't tell you how many times I've fucked up. So it helps a lot though. Well, yeah, it's not necessarily mistakes, it's more so big failures and then just using that as like fuel or using that as a way to completely just, it's not necessarily just learning from your mistakes, it's more so doing a ton of research to fix it. And it takes time and time again. Just to... No. No. But it is crazy though, I'll say. It's crazy. I can't believe the fucking the flag game though, it's crazy. Yep. Yeah. Have either of y'all I'm gonna take that as a no. Have either of y'all played the game Ready or Not?
I know people that have played it though.
No. Ready or Not? Yeah.
Sure.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
wrong.
there is.
It is
There is.
Ready.
That's like the hunting movie, right? In the fucking house.
No.
It's like, it's not the Hunt to Be Hunted movie.
I mean, they have the movie The Hunt.
Ready or Not's not the one where it's like you marry into that family and it's like a ritual thing, where they hunt you down. And yeah, that is. It's somewhere where like if you're getting married in the house, or you getting married, like it's like a fucking tradition to like get hunted down or some shit to see if you're worthy. I think there's a second one. That's the only reason I know that. I think I watched the movie and didn't like it. I thought it was, eh. I think there's a second one. There is a second one. I remember watching when we went to go see Evil Dead. I remember seeing it. I don't know why there's a
Ooh,
second
dude,
Ready or
they're
Not.
coming out with a new, what do you call it? They're coming out with a new Evil Dead movie. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, they're coming out with a new Evil Dead movie, or I already saw the new Evil Dead movie.
When did you watch it?
With Weston.
Oh, did you?
It's the top 3 worst movies I've ever seen, is what it was.
Bad?
I don't know if this. Well, the gore was fantastic. The story just. I don't think there was a plot with that one at all. Actually, if you Like, the gore was awesome. It's just the character writing was like it was a big step down from like the last one. Like the character, all the characters are pretty hated. I didn't really like any of them, and the ending apparently ruined the whole movie for Rex. So the ending was not great. It's getting pretty solid reviews though. Like I said, the gore was great, but the character, I could not stand the main character. She was something. It wasn't as bad as the Backrooms movie though. At least this one had gore. The Backrooms movie had a whopping 1 monster in it. That was horrible. And you barely saw. Brandon, did you see Backrooms movie?
I did not.
It's probably a good thing. Whopping 1 monster, and you only get to see it for like about 5 minutes in the whole movie, in a single scene, and that's it. I love The Thing. The Thing is legendary. Best movie I've seen this year still has got it, without a doubt. I don't think Obsession's a movie. It's just hard to move that. You'd have to see it.
No,
That movie was fucking.
That movie was
Yeah,
fantastic.
That was the first time in a very, very long time I've been freaked out. That was literally Haley Part 2. Literally
Oh my
Haley
God.
Part 2. That movie. Literally, that was the first thing that Fallon said. Was that, oh, this is gonna be a Haley movie. Because it was.
Dude, what the fuck,
No,
bro?
no, Obsession is a different type of movie, not The Obsession.
Why was I getting attacked?
It was a great movie, though. I don't really remember
any of it.
I don't remember what other movies I saw this year. I didn't see too many. Yeah. I'm not watching Toy Story 1. What the fuck? The movie's ancient as fuck. No. Jackass. Oh, I saw Jackass. Oh, well, I hate Toy Story. I don't know why the fuck, like, shit. Not a big fan of Toy Story. I hate Toy Story. I just think it's so. I'm just not a fan of Toy Story, I'm gonna be honest. It's just. I fucking hate Toy Story. I fucking hate Toy Story, Daniel. You don't understand. I hate Toy Story. I
want you.
I fucking despise Toy Story. I hope whoever made Toy Story gets fucking, like, I hope they have to fucking watch Moana and the Odyssey. Oh, here's what I got. Alright, let's see. Obsession, Backroom. Wait, that's all I've seen this fucking year. That's it? No way, these are the only movies I've seen this year. Oh, here we go. Oh, that was the second best movie I saw this year. I completely forgot. Iron Lung came out this year. I don't know if either of y'all saw that. Probably not. No.
Get out of my way!
Right, did you see Iron Lung?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's a Markiplier movie.
Oh yeah.
He made a movie. But yeah, so it did really well. I think it made like 300 million at the box office. Yes, it made a ton. I thought it was gonna be the best horror movie of the year. It did not. It's not, because Obsession absolutely fried it. It went up. Unfortunately, it went up against a unit like Obsession. When I first saw Obsession, I knew it was gonna be great.
Meatheads are too stupid to
Or I
quit.
didn't know it was gonna be great because at the time it only had $80 million in the box office. And I was like, oh well, this is already a success off $750,000 budget. Shot up all the way to fucking 700 million in box office numbers. I'm like, holy shit, this is insanely. It's made from a YouTuber that I was subscribed to for a very long time at this point, which is crazy. Didn't know. I forget what his name was. Corey Barker, Curry Barker. I forget what the actual I forget what the actual channel is, but I couldn't believe that he was the director of that. I didn't know that until after the fucking movie. I was like, holy shit! I literally watched this motherfucker.
No,
shit.
not
literally. No, that's a white dude. His fucking shorts are so. They're so fucking oddly funny. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, that was crazy. Well, he doesn't do horror shit. He's just this comedy shit, which is probably why like some of the shit was kind of, it was just really off-putting. Some of it was funny because I don't know. It's weird though because I just didn't imagine that. It was like I wouldn't have imagined it, but pretty fun.
Nothing sucks
shit. I
more
haven't
than
seen
not
one of
being
these
able to blow shit up.
shorts in a while. So. It's been a while, but no, it's been a couple. It's been a couple weeks actually. Fuck no, I don't know anybody that's paying with coins unless you're in the hood. Who keeping my coins now? These motherfuckers are gonna get phased out
Fucking
sooner or
raw,
later.
motherfuckers!
Yep. There you go. I don't know anybody that's really paying with cash anymore, like, ever. People still do. Occasionally I've done it. It's just rare. You're not usually getting paid in cash anymore like you used to back in some days. The bank. But yeah, that was like a while ago. Credit cards and debit cards didn't become big until like 2005, 4. They existed for a little minute, but obviously Brandon's favorite event, 2008. That's crazy. I remember 2007. No. I remember 2007 pretty distinctly because I remember being literally in pre-K for some reason. 2006 and 7. The dates on the fucking wall, the fuzzy wall was just ingrained in my mind. I don't know why I remember that. That's crazy. I briefly remember some of the stupid shit that happened in pre-K. I don't know if you remember a single thing, Daniel, and I don't know if I remember a single thing in pre-K, but I do. I'm dead. I got latched onto. Brandon, do you remember anything from pre-K?
Sorry. Say that one more.
Do you remember anything from pre-K? Oh.
I do not.
I remember a decent amount from pre-K. I remember the first time I met Jerry got his fucking finger stuck in like a wiffle ball. I started crying. I remember that they used to let us, for some reason, like the kitchen area. I forget whose class it was though. I really don't remember who. I may have been Miss Garsha. I do remember though. Back in pre-K3 or pre-K4, I think it was. I forget which one it was, but I do remember a couple of distinct things. So one was I remember for some reason by like the kitchen thing, like the shitty like plastic kitchen or whatever the fuck it was, or toy kitchen. For some reason the lady had like a fucking box of like broken electronics, including like broken like cell phones and cameras, and one of the cameras still worked. And some fucker, I forget, I think I genuinely believe it was this fucking kid that Brandon was like best friends with named Cole Cartier. Got his hand stuck on the fucking, he wrapped the shitty fucking like the camera cord, you know, the wrist cord somehow around his wrist, and like I don't even
Only
remember,
man and wife should be
but I got stuck.
sweet.
That was crazy.
Blood is
I do
gonna
remember that
fly.
kid that I think Brandon played soccer with. That kid Henry. Henry. There's a kid named Henry Nate or whatever. I remember that kid got like a jelly bean or some shit stuck up his nose.
That just never gets old.
Yeah, I do remember a lot of shit. That's weird. I don't know if I should remember a lot of shit from that. I remember playing a lot of that bullshit. Like, see, Ethan just wouldn't remember that, but fucking Millie's Playhouse or whatever it fucking was. No, Millie the cow. That was the big one. Like, yeah, Ethan remembers it kinda, but like he didn't know
I'm always
off
in
the
it.
top of his head. I remember Millie the cow. You counted like jelly beans to put it on cookies, or guess Millie would put like pick shoes out from Millie the cow or guess. I don't remember exactly. I do remember a lot of shit that was very odd. I don't know. I got the fucking like far-reaching memories. It's kind of weird. Far-reaching memories, not fucking current memories. I couldn't even tell you couldn't even tell you most of the shit I even did this month. So, or the last month. So yeah, far-reaching memories, yeah. Fucking recent memories, absolutely fucking not. Apparently, weird shit. We'll say weird shit. I do remember. What else do I remember? I remember the fucking. It's a tree house. They did like the fucking fire safety bullshit. That was interesting. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, pre-K. No, that's preschool. What else was in preschool? There's a lot. I remember fucking Blaine from preschool. That was not rough. I remember being friends with Blaine and I guess fucking Cole Cardi back in the day, which is a weird combo. But I remember Blaine was a whiny motherfucker like really way back in the day. I haven't talked to that dude in a long time. I don't plan on it. I think he's a fucking freak. What else? What else is in pre-K? Yeah. I remember it was winter and I do remember it snowing and I got parents made like hot chocolate. I remember we got sent home for fucking break or whatever. Didn't even know we had breaks in preschool until stupid. I remember making some fucking like paper monsters as well. And I remember playing a lot of games on this laptop or computers back in the day. I remember opening up a basket,
freak bag.
counting ducks and in like 3K2. Like fucking rubber ducks. Yep, there's like rubber ducks. I don't remember that. May have been like 3K2 or some shit. That may have been further. It's very weird. I have some very, very, very good memories from back in the day. It was good. It's good to have far-reaching memories. It's good to have some shit. Yeah, it's weird. It's very odd. There's like a lot of. I don't know, it's kinda odd. I don't know, like I said, some shit I remember back, I wouldn't say it was super back in the day, but I think it was like second grade. I think it was second grade, I remember at the time, for some reason I thought it was like the toughest shit to play Nightmare like 4 times in a row, on the mic, to the Brandon rival. That may have been one of the fucking stupidest things I think ever. At the time, thinking back, that was just crazy. I think Brandon actually requested another song, and I proceeded to play Nightmare 3 more times, bro.
I'm Dempsey.
That
and
was
you
insane.
Are
I do
dead.
remember that. That was like first or second grade. That may have been second grade. Black Ops 2 had to have been out by then. No, maybe it
That
wasn't
just
out by
never
then.
gets old.
No, it was definitely out by then. Because Black Ops 2 came out when I was in second grade. Because I got MW3 and Black Ops 1.
You laughing at me?
Shit,
Not
I mean,
wise.
with Daniel on the PlayStation, yeah, it's just true. I did it, Weston did. No, but he said he streamed on it. Oh, he more specifically, distinctly, he said he saw you talking on the fucking controller mic. He's like, why the fuck is Daniel talking on this controller mic? Didn't even know what was the controller mic until Weston said that today. This is shit. I guess so. I don't know how you'd hear on that thing, but yeah. Fuck no, probably not. It's an interesting concept. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, partner. I'm thirsty.
Yeah. I'm not doing that. That does not seem worth it.
Teleporter. Could be useful if we
But
can.
yeah, let's point it out. I was like, Weston loves watching Daniel's past streams. No Weston super often, but it just it very much depends on what I'm doing. It very much depends on if I'm in the mood last nowadays. Not as much. Maybe ready or not. That's the thing I'll probably like to do something. Action and Rex got Pass and Black Ops 2 for $10. Yep, gigantic sale. You said you were playing a new port of Black Ops 2. No, he didn't mention that other one. He just mentioned Black Ops 2. Shit. Maybe, probably not. Okay. I think Black Ops no more, but Rex got Black Ops. Rex hasn't played. I mean, I guess he played Turned earlier. No, me Preston Rex. Me, Preston, Weston, Rex. And then me, Ashton, Preston, Rex, and Ashton were playing paintball and Black Ops 2 custom games. I am currently now. No, yeah. We did paintball and custom games. I can no longer play multiplayer on Black Ops 2, so. Well, I got the Word at War thing where I can't play online. I'm on, that's just unfortunate. He didn't glitch out. He happened to go in the hacker's lobby, and the dude, I guess, had some restrictions where if you leave, he put you in permanent probation. Now me and Rex are permanently. Oh, I forgot about Rex. Rex was in the same lobby, and he now has the same issues where if you're 5-minute probation counter, whenever probation's done, it resets it back to 5 minutes, so you just will never be able to play that. Let's play it again, so that's unfortunate. So I can play custom games and zombies, and obviously campaign. I can play zombies just fine though, online. I just can't play multiplayer.
Don't fuck with a Marine!
So
That
that's
just never
unfortunate.
gets
But
old.
but yeah, I mean, Ashton got on like
You need a little
I don't even know when he got on.
I
I don't
fucking
even
hate
know. It was like
fish.
1:30. No, Ashton got on at 1. Yeah, this effort today. This is at like 1.
Where was that mainframe
I
again?
think. And he's supposed to get on way earlier. Rex is quite pissed. What? Because Ashton said he's gonna get on way earlier than that. He didn't get on till fucking 1. He said he was gonna get on at 10.
That'll keep him out for a sec.
So, Rex is pissed. And Preston is additionally pissed. Now, Preston doesn't have work. He just finished work. Well, he got a full-time offer, but he's going back to school soon. So, but he did get a full-time offer. He's just not gonna work until after college. So, he's just got to basically receive there for work. I have college, but I'll always be home, and I don't have as much as
That's what I
before.
call blowing chunks.
Preston goes back very soon. So not great for him. Easy semester for him though. So he should be fine. He was on for a bit though. Got off at the time. But him, yeah, he was on for a while. I don't even know what time he got off at. I don't remember, but he was up till like
Told you it wasn't on the menu.
I don't know. 250? Yeah, I haven't hit the mystery box in a while. I've been some guns I've gotten for a while. I hit the ray gun and the Browning. But it was interesting, you know, Ashton is not having the time.
I never
like,
win at anything except war.
We were playing Ready or Not. That was the game we played for most of tonight. Ready or Not. It was pretty fun. It's a very hard game. That was just me, Weston, Rex, and Ashton. Surprisingly, Weston bought that game. So did Rex. Already had it, but no. Me and Preston bought it separately. But you know, I'm surprised Ashton got the Black Ops something.
News just in. Dipsy is a fucking badass.
So I don't know. Yes, yeah. Black Ops. Black Ops 2.
Devil man. KIA maggot sack.
And then Rex. I'm surprised Rex and Black Ops 2. Rarity. I guess I can. This is better though. Yeah, but he doesn't have the DLCs on it. He did try to get this Black Ops on, but he did try to get the DLC for Rezurrection on Black Ops 1 for cheaper. You know, nothing was on sale. You got to pay full price. So, you like Black Ops 2? I will say it. But the thing is good. Ashton never gets on, so he gets on, just not. He gets on, but he falls asleep too much during matches. Really plays on. Oh, it's all too true. Then Ashton also. Ashton, I'm a Rex. That is good though, because Rex gets more frequently than Ashton does.
It's time for a little ass whooping.
I don't know. It is good. No, I don't. I did play Nuke on Zombies recently. Yeah. I played, it was just me, oh fuck. That was just me, Preston, and Weston. That was a couple I don't know when that was actually. That was this week. I don't remember when though. It was during the evening. I don't remember what day though. I think it was definitely Thursday. I know they cooked up a lot there Friday. He didn't want to play another match so he didn't get a bed. He was last day. So he, that was good. That was actually one of the best matches I think I've ever had me playing on. Not for Weston, he got his ass kicked.
Go eat someone else, freak bag!
You get to, I think, like round 34 on Nukes on Zombies. We didn't die either. We just straight up into it, just fucking had to go to bed.
I'm making some freak meat stew! Who wants some?
Brandon, you don't know anything about Nukes on Zombies.
Boy, what do you know about this?
Let's do that again.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have been the funnest zombie experience in the world. We already have a map like that and it's... Fuck. Yeah, we already have a map like that and it's called Paradox Junction. I still played it once and it was horrible. When you don't want to play it.
I'm surrounded! Bring it, motherfuckers!
Well, Daniel, I am probably going to bed. So, oh, my last. Well, yeah, I mean, I'll see. I got work next week, Monday, Thursday, and then I am done for the rest of the summer. I wish. You don't understand the busy seasons. Brandon doesn't understand temporary busy season for 4 years.
Oh yeah.
Busy season for 4 years. And then, yeah.
Alright, well.
Busy season? Busy season's only in the spring. I mean, I guess it's spring, winter. It's like January to like April 15th or whatever it is. Depends. I'm not in the tax side, so I don't deal with that. I deal with auditing whatever firm Brandon's in. And I don't know, I'm just joking. Definitely auditing Daniel, though. You're getting audited.
I don't think he was joking.
No, I don't. I'm joking. It's a financial audit, not a. No, that's tax. I'm not on the tax side. Well, let's see the fucking work on people's tax returns. We're so complex for corporations. It's not gonna usually be individuals. It's usually gonna be very high net worth individuals. Although there's a lot of individual tax returns. I've been on the tax side of the building, like or the people that are on the tax side. They're really cool. Some of the other interns, the tax interns, are great over there. So, no, I mean it's just a lot of tax returns. Some of them more complex than others because different types of tax returns, like corporate tax returns, look interesting. I don't know what I'm looking at. Audit, it just really depends. There's a lot of different things you're looking at. A lot of different. Every industry is different. Every company is different. You're gonna get different information and different looking documents from every company. So not everything's gonna be the same. Not that it's necessarily the hardest thing in the world, but it certainly is pretty difficult. Well, that's tax. That's tax. Yes, there's different versions of those. 1099 div. I don't know a whole lot. I just know 1099 div is dividend ones. What? 1099, but there's different forms of it. There's like, I don't remember. I'm not in tax, so I don't know that. And if you're in the tax side, you do, or if you specialize in tax, I guess. And I'm in audit. But you could specialize in audit. I'm trying to specialize in energy audit, which is much more specialized. Over here is where energy big. So, it depends on what you. No, not really, but it depends on what you do. The Wall Street people love energy, so yeah, probably. Shit, well, they definitely love doing trading with energy companies over there. It's bigger over here, though. Energy's significantly bigger over here. This in Texas, especially. But no, I mean it's very interesting. I've done at least the summer from the actual real world experience I've done. I've actually gotten to do some audits and not like practice accounts and stuff. Like I had to do audit. It's called audit testing on 401k distribution plans or distributions, 401k contributions, and 401k eligibility. I'm not even gonna get into what testing looks like because you kind of have to see it to know what I'm talking about. Not the easiest thing in the world. At least the 401k stuff is a fucking headache because it's a lot of documents and it's a lot of moving shit. That your whole thing is to make sure that there's no variances in terms of supporting documents versus what the client is saying is your whole gist of audit. Or make sure that they aren't recording shit where they're not supposed to. So, it sounds very... It literally is just a financial detective. That's literally... Well, it's a lot of skepticism because you gotta know literally what affects what. Because some of these firms are really gonna try to hide as much shit as they can. And you gotta really pay close attention to any small changes. And usually you're gonna take a sample of a bunch of accounts. You're not gonna sample every single like cash deposit or whatever. You're gonna so you're only gonna sample like usually high random accounts for very high deposited accounts, and there's different ways. Obviously, for cash it's usually cut and dry. Usually, I guess cash. I haven't done any cash tests. I mean, I've done practice testing, but I can at least give you a test, I guess, on cash. So, like at least the documents. This is for like the whole sample. So say you got like maybe like 10 different like cash or bank accounts, or 10 different bank accounts or whatever it may be, or alright, say one's from like Fidelity, so say one's from like Chase Bank or whatever the fuck that this firm happens to. Say we'll just do 2 for simplicity, alright? So this is probably the most bare bones balance sheet item or finance, well, yeah, a balance sheet item that you can get. We have them in New Orleans, yeah. Standard Citibank it's a big investment bank over there too. Yeah, they're pretty. It's no city, but cash, very bare bones. Very probably the easiest. I would definitely probably say the easiest account that you can audit or do testing with. Testing can get super difficult because I've done some of the more difficult ones. Not the most difficult, but the most difficult ones would be shit like deferred taxes or energy depletion cost, which I couldn't even fucking tell you how to do that. But there's a lot of really deep shit. You're literally looking at the whole financial statement and doing each part, and there's a lot that goes into some of these. It's not just a single test. Some of them you're going to be doing 5 or 6 different tests, and it's going to be like an Excel document with maybe like 7 or 8 tabs. It's a lot, but for cash it's pretty cut and dry. Usually it's not going to be that complicated unless it's a much bigger company. So usually with cash, usually say that you're like, and it depends on industries. Like I said, in different industries have different accounts, and they all hold different accounting standards and different risks as well associated with them. So you got to be very careful. There is big differences between the sectors that you're auditing. They're going to be completely different. Anyways, getting back to actual cash. So cash, usually how an audit works is usually you're going to have these things called tick marks, which is usually going to satisfy what are called procedures. So procedures are essentially what you're actually testing for. So say, just as an example, say there's like 3 procedures and you're trying to test for each one. So for the first bank account, so what did I say? We'll just say Citi is the bank, all right? Just because you brought it. So Citi is the first like bank account that we're testing. All right, and we're testing. Obviously, we're testing this isn't. So I guess for testing procedures, we're doing. So the first testing procedures we're gonna do vouching or tracing the ending account balance to bank confirmations, and making like this like I said, very kind of dry. No, it's like, so you're getting so a bank confirmation. So tracing means that you're going from where you're actually inputting that one. So you're and that for that specific test, I guess it wouldn't be called tracing, but you're, I guess, confirming and inputting the ending balance from a bank confirmation. So bank confirmations, you're not gonna wanna. So what a bank confirmation was, and how do you satisfy that test? Well, usually when you're going to audit a firm's cash account, you're not gonna want to go ask, hey, client or customer. So what, you Daniel, we're auditing your cash statement, and you one of your bank accounts is Citi. We're not gonna ask you directly, Daniel, for your bank statements. That would be cynical, because you could easily fabricate that or lie about it or do whatever with it, and that has happened countless times. So you want to get it directly from the bank. So you're going to send out bank confirmation requests to actually get that amount. And there you go. and you're usually gonna have like a tracing number that you're gonna put next to the actual account, and you're gonna make sure that it's the correct routing number actually on the bank confirmation. Make sure it's the you're gonna make sure that all the information's right. Second test is you're gonna do something called, like, I'm not gonna get into this, but there's something called a general ledger and trial balance, which is actually the company's financial statements, or what they kind of how they organize their cash accounts, kinda, and all the accounts that make up that final cash balance on their actual financial statements. Not gonna get into it because it is a lot, like a lot, and well, no, like I'm not gonna get into it because it wouldn't make sense to, because I would have to make up like a ton of fake different accounts that like go into that final cash number. Literally, a trial balance is just the total amount of cash that a company has, like, or this reporting that they have. The general ledger is each individual time the company records like a new individual like cash inflow, and which is a ton. There could be like hundreds or thousands, probably more than thousands a year, but way more than that, potentially like tens of thousands. So like, I'm not gonna go in the general ledger, but anyways, you're going off that trial balance number usually as like your reference point. You want to make sure that that bank confirmation number matches what the client actually has on their thing. If their client's number doesn't match the bank confirmation number, well, there's going to be some issues. And it doesn't have to match it to a T, or that specific. Yeah, well, usually it's more so to that specific. So maybe you'd go off of the general ledger for that, actually. Maybe, because I don't remember. Maybe the general ledger won't always just be cash. It'll sometimes have like the individual like actually accounts that go into to that specific cash bank account. So for city, for the general ledger, they may have like a ton of like individual like cash like deposits or whatever, instead of the overall like trial balance, like total amount of cash, which could be like maybe 10 different banks. But so it's probably the general ledger. So anyways, the general ledger, whatever account that it has for City's bank, so then you're going to want to make sure that matches up. So that makes sense. So then you would do, you wouldn't necessarily directly look, you'd input the general ledger amount. Alright. You'd already kind of have that. You'd have that inputted at the end, or like you'd already have that inputted, but that would be at the end, and you'd have like a formula that will determine if there's a variance or if it's going to be like a 0% or zero variance, meaning it matches perfectly. So how do you do that? Well, a lot of the time, that bank confirmation amount, or what they have on the trial balance, isn't always going to necessarily match thank you. It's not always going to match what they have on like the general ledger trial balance as a company, or maybe it's a bank. No, as the company, it's not always going to match. Okay, so why is that? Why are those amounts not going to match? And why do we have to make sure that they kind of do match and that the company is actually correct in this instance? Alright, well, why do they do that? Well, it's not the scamming part. Obviously, that is a big part of it, but the main part of it is the second procedure. So remember that first procedure? So that first procedure was satisfied because we got a bank confirmation confirming that the bank account amount exists and that the bank account itself actually did exist. So that's called testing for existence, which is very simple. You want to make sure that the cash exists and the account exists. So that's a big thing, obviously. So you put what's called a tick mark. And so there's like, you're gonna be a 1, 2, and 3 like box for that and literally it's just a check mark if it was tested without an exception, or like a different symbol if it's like if there's an issue and there is no confirmation or the count seems fabricated, whatever it may be, then there would be a different tick mark. It's essentially a check or an X, essentially, is literally what it is. There may be more tick marks, like a lot more tick marks, depending on what you're auditing. But anyways, yeah. But anyways, in this instance, it's different. So anyways, that's the first test, the existence one that we just went over. Second test is recalculation. To make sure accuracy. So this is called the completeness, I guess, test, to make sure that all numbers are actually incorporated that are supposed to be, and make sure that the company is not like aiding their cash account for whatever reason that may be, or it's usually overstating their cash account. So we want to make sure that there's no major variance in the bank account. And there could be a variance, but it just depends on what is called materiality. So there's going to be a set percentage, like as long as there's not like a variance of like 100,000, just as an example, then we don't have to test further for this, whatever. So you're not gonna, because if there's like a small variance, like maybe for a gigantic corporation, a $50,000 variance in that specific cash account's not gonna really matter as much. So, and usually there's going to be some reasoning behind it. Not all the time. Sometimes it may be fraud, but even then, you usually won't test it. You don't want to waste your time just testing stuff that is below the materiality threshold, is what it's called. If anything's above that, then you're going to have some issues. But anyways, getting back here. So recalculation, testing for what is called the completeness assertion, making sure that everything should be incorporated correctly, making sure that the company is not misrecording stuff, and to basically make sure it matches to have in their cash amount for that city bank account. So what do? So the second part of it is you are actually looking at the banks, not the bank confirmation, but the actual bank statement from the bank themselves now. So what are you actually doing with this confirmation? So in accounting, there could be a bunch of there's two specific things that go into this recalculation. So obviously the beginning balance, which you get from the bank confirmation sheet, actually. All right. Oh, it's usually, actually, I forget. It's usually going to be the bank that's usually going to have some sort of variance that you actually have to do in the recalculation for. So say that there's a variance, right? So why is there a variance? So when you're looking at the bank statement, you're usually looking to see two specific things: outstanding checks, which obviously means that they're outstanding, they haven't actually cleared yet. So yeah, basically the same thing. Yeah, outstanding balances, or deposits in transit, which means you deposit into the bank account. All right, and those are the two things. Those means that those two haven't actually been accounted for in the bank's actual processing. So whenever you obviously deposit something in your bank account, you may not see it directly always deposited or go through, whenever you're checking it, until like a couple of days later. And that's what a deposit in transit is. Same thing with a company. They know that they deposited that money, and they're going to account for it on their statement, which is correct. But it may not go through in the bank's end until a couple days later. So that's why there may be a variance. So what you do is you add that. Say for example that there is no outstanding checks. If there was outstanding checks, you would actually subtract that amount, whatever the outstanding check amount, from the beginning amount that you got from the bank confirmation. But just for simplicity, in this case, say that there was actually no outstanding checks, but there was like $50,000 worth of deposits in transit. Well, you would add that to the beginning balance from the bank confirmation, and hopefully that amount would eventually just leave a zero variance. Hopefully that matches what the client has, and usually that's hopefully going to be the case. There may be some minor variances. Sometimes there's going to be or fees, like hidden fees in there, or some weird shit. Sometimes there's going to be weird stuff in it, but usually not. But that's the second test, and then the third test is, well, usually there's only like 3 tests, and the third test is just usually it's just testing to make sure that the client's like amount actually like that the client's amount was actually reconciled correctly. Is actually wrong. If so the bank's amount is probably going to be wrong. That's what the second test is testing for. I guess the second, third test are testing for completeness. But it's vice versa this time. Instead of looking at the bank statement, you're actually looking at the company's general ledger and looking at what are called journal entries. So what is a journal entry? Well, whenever you actually say you sell something, you Daniel, you sell something, all right? Well, you're losing that inventory. So say you sell a game, all right? Well, you sell a disc. Say you sell a disc or a water bottle. Well, you lose that whatever. Say you sell it for $5, all right? Well, you lose that water bottle for $5, but you gain $5 in cash. Well, you have to record that. So you record a reduction in inventory and an increase in cash, and that's the thing. That's what a journal entry is. Now, journal entries can get really fucking messy because I didn't explain the rest of what a journal entry is. And that's gonna take way too long to do, unless it's like it's very, very long. We're gonna be like, if I taught the actual like getting significantly more deep into it, then yeah, I'd probably be like a whole semester's worth of information. I don't want to be a teacher, but yeah, maybe if I got a PhD. But anyways, you're literally looking to see if there's any major errors in the journal entries, or the like Citibank journal entries or whatever, from the client or your actual clients, like journal entries, to make sure that they didn't make any errors in their bank reconciliation, which is usually to just account for any like deposits and transits and outstanding checks that they're anticipating being on the bank statement. But you know, that's literally it. Usually won't even test for that part. It's usually just going to be the first 2 testing procedures, but that's it. And you'll leave a note as well, notes if there is any variances, or if there's no variances, you just leave some sort of note saying that you tested it and that it was all good, or not. You'd be much more professional when leaving a note, obviously. But anyways, that's very, very simplistic. That's probably the most simplistic account that you can get to. I have done none of that this summer. I have not touched a cat. I've done like practice, like testing on cash and accounts payable, accounts receivable, and revenue. Revenue's much more complicated, actually. That one's a lot more complicated by like revenue is actually I wouldn't say it's a nightmare, but it's probably one of the most high risk accounts that audit, and it is pretty that one's like, I would say that's like at least 100, or maybe definitely like 1,000 times harder to audit, test, and cash. That one took me significantly longer there's much more tests involved, like maybe like 6 or 7 like testing procedures. You gotta go, there's a ton of documents involved in like each one, and you're usually testing like maybe 50 different accounts. I gave you one account for cash, and in revenue it could be more, 50. But you're not looking at the bank accounts for revenue. That's the thing. You're looking. I'm not gonna get into the revenue. Revenue is that's a literal whole chapter we went through in college called revenue recognition. Revenue itself, there's a lot of weird stuff with revenue, but revenue recognition principles that was literally a whole chapter in college. That was long, because there's so many different nuances and very specific bullshit that goes into it. And the first thing that when you think of revenue, what do you think would be the first thing to actually confirm when you're actually looking to actually record revenue would be, or even potentially satisfy revenue? Not this is one of 5 stats. Kinda. That's kinda. Well, yeah, kinda. It's very. That's not the first part, but that is a part, I guess, somewhere. So there's some. Well, that's the most. Well, the most important part is to actually make sure that revenue exists in this part. So there's 5. Yeah, so I'm not gonna go into detail on how to test revenue, because that would be a headache. But even thinking back at that, but just to very, 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 very briefly summarize the main part. I wouldn't say main part of revenue, because there's so many different ways that you can recognize revenue and when you can recognize it. You have to also recognize revenue properly in the correct time frame as well. Can't just recognize it whenever. A lot of manipulation you can do with that. Anyways, but with revenue, the gist of revenue is called the 5 steps of revenue recognition. Step 1, contract. There has to be a contract created between 2 parties. That is step number 1. So you have to have some sort of contract, usually a very long legal document, of course, is what a contract is. And you gotta make sure that there's actual agreement on the contract and all that good stuff. And you gotta analyze a lot of that legal language. You gotta analyze a lot of the specifics in terms of, obviously, if it's legal or if it's too harsh, if it seems too one-sided, if the terms seem kind of wonky, if it seems a bit off. And I'm pretty sure that's number 2 is called, I forget what the second one is actually. I kind of lumped the 2 and 3 together. Term and performance obligations. Okay, so what does that mean? Obviously terms are obviously what you're supposed to meet. You know, what you are supposed to do, what the other party is supposed to do, and the agreed upon exchange. So it could be services or goods usually, and that's a big difference to note. Is services and goods have completely different revenue recognition principles, and there's also subsections of those. So there's a subsection of service revenue, and services obviously is completely different. And then obviously goods is whenever you're exchanging an actual physical thing, like a fucking box. I sell you a box, and depending on the terms of that sale, I'll actually get into that in a second. So I guess the term, so one of the big things with actually I'll get into that now. So one of the big things, because those are the only 2 real big things when it comes to revenue. It's I wouldn't say revenue itself, but when you can recognize revenue, is very heavily dependent upon those 2 specifically. Is services provided or products provided? So they sound simple, but not really that simple. So when can you recognize revenue with services? Well, it very much depends on what services are being provided. So if I am pest control, alright, and I say I'm gonna do such and such to your house, and I end up completing my services on, yes, say I end up finishing my services on 12/18/2025, and I send you an invoice on 12/30/2025. When can I recognize it? Well, I can't. We have to actually recognize revenue when services were actually provided. So it would be the 18th, and not when the invoice was sent, or when you pay it either, or when we receive the money. So that's pretty simple. Same thing. But that's where the simplicity ends when it comes to the services provided, because then it depends heavily on the industry. In construction, it's probably the biggest nightmare known to man, because you're going off of something called a completion estimate when it's in construction, because construction projects take a fucking long time, and they're estimating how much revenue that you could potentially recognize, and it may not be accurate. It could be completely fucking off. So, and I'm not going to get into construction. That's probably one of the most annoying areas to even look at. I don't know when you're supposed to, construction, because I don't know, I couldn't even tell you when you're supposed to recognize revenue in construction, the construction sector. I don't know enough about it. I just know that it's the nightmare. Well, auditing it is a nightmare, and actually going into accounting for it is probably one of the most annoying things in the world. So I don't know anything about it. I just know that that's a very big, that's a pretty really challenging area to audit, is revenue and construction audits. Really bad. Anyways, so moving away from services, so in inventory you can recognize revenue whenever the actual like product is in the. No, I coughed that time, but I do appreciate it. Whenever the product is actually in the technical possession of the new owner, and it really depends heavily on the terms as well for that one, because sometimes if a very basic example, sometimes depending on the terms, you're technically in possession of it when it's in our facility, or whenever it gets to our facility. But other times the terms could be whenever you actually have it physically in your hands. You can recognize that as revenue. So it's very weird, but there's specific, a bunch of different types of that too. Like something called, I think it's like hold and wait or some shit like that, where the client there has to be like 5 different conditions met for this, and they're very specific, and I'm not going to go into them. But what hold and wait is essentially the client doesn't have the space for that piece of inventory or that product that they want, but they still want to keep it. So they're going to be like, okay, well, you, the company that I bought it from, can actually hold on to it, but you can't let anybody else use it, and it's mine, and I will pay for it, but you hold on to it. And also that company that's holding on to it also has to meet the 4 other obligations, which is very hard to track. I've had to look up a couple of cases regarding manipulation of that. Very, very weird. But you can, as a company, you can actually recognize revenue on that whenever, even though you have the product technically in your possession, the customer is giving you the right to recognize revenue because it's in their possession. So if that product gets damaged while it's in your possession as well, it's technically on the customer's, it's the customer's issue, which is very weird. That's why it's very, not in this case, not if the customer gives you that specific right. So it's very, very weird. Anyways, that's the second part of the revenue recognition process, I guess. Number 3 is performance obligations. So this one gets really, really weird, and it's to make sure you're actually meeting your obligations, and that there's if there's distinct obligations, that you're recording revenue separately from each other. So what does that mean? So say you buy some software program, right? But you also get an add-on for it that is separate. Those are two different obligations. Two completely separate obligations. They're not the same thing. One, one is independent from the other. You don't need the other for the other one to function. Now, it's the same thing with like a house and a pool. You don't, technically when the house is in construction and the pool is in construction as well, the pool is not considered part of the house. There's two completely different obligations, and that's what gets complicated, is also recognizing that, and it's usually like the same thing with a house as well. Usually a house, you will include like the counter or the actual kitchen itself as part of the house. So you're going to recognize that. You're not going to recognize it as a separate obligation. You're going to recognize that as one obligation. So those ones can't function with the other. A refrigerator can, though. That's what makes it very, very tricky. It's super specific because you can go out and get a refrigerator yourself. It's not being built as part of the house. That's the thing. Not usually, and it can be if specifically listed in the terms, and that's why revenue is so tricky, is you have to explicitly list it, and it has to be specifically and it's super hyper specific. It is unbelievably specific. Yes, exactly, and you have to be super precise with it. And the testing for it is very, and this is just for one part of the testing procedures, by the way. The other testing procedures may not have anything it'll have stuff to do with the revenue recognition shit, but it's going to be completely different. It's going to be looking at a lot of documents and different numbers and different you will look at some sort of bank accounts, but it's going to be a lot of different documents. It's going to be maybe like 6 or 7 per account, and you're going to have to dig fucking deep through them. You will have to look through contracts. I've looked through a bunch of contracts for those already, and they're interesting. They're not the worst things. Well, I looked at like tuition or like school tuition, so we were like auditing like a college, and that was one thing. So their revenue recognition, that it wasn't great, but I got the hang of it. Once you do one of those or a couple of those accounts, it gets pretty repetitive. So it's just really hard like the first time. But anyways, I think the fourth step in the revenue recognition is the price. So is making sure that the price is reasonable, making sure there's not like additional like bullshit that the company is recognizing that was absolutely not in the contract. So if they recognize $150,000 from God knows what, and it wasn't in the contract, but they put that revenue down from that specific contract, or is being part of the contract, you can't do that. That's fabricated revenue. So you gotta confirm and make sure that the contract is huge, and knowing what account it came from is huge. And the fifth one is actually recognizing revenue. Did they recognize it in the correct period? Did they recognize it when they're supposed to? And did they recognize it based on the terms? Did the company actually were the terms actually satisfied for the company to actually recognize the revenue, like in general? And that's it. If the company's obligations were met, like the services were completed, whatever was completed, the contract was completed, the company, as long as it wasn't voided or anything illegal, obviously, the company can recognize revenue. And that's essentially what you're testing for, is to make sure that they can actually recognize revenue, and that they met the obligations, and the obligations are legal and not fabricated or whatever. And that's essentially the gist of revenue recognition. Like I said, the test is completely fucking different. It is a nightmare. I just gave a very quick rundown. The chapter itself in revenue recognition was a nightmare, but But the actual but the actual like steps of revenue recognition, the 5 steps I went through, don't sound too bad. But once you actually look at it and actually get through real scenarios, well, once you're experienced and you've been in the field a long time, yes, I have not been in the field very long at all. Well, because I've taken classes on it and I've done audits on it as well. I have brief experience because that's one of the first accounts you're gonna have to work on in audit. I'm not gonna work on like deferred taxes or like measuring like complex energy security audits, or like what's a really fucking monstrous one? Goodwill. One of the Goodwill accounts, or oh Jesus, what's another really big one?
I'm getting off. I'm tired.
We'll see, Brandon.
Yep.
What else? I don't know. What? Yeah, it has been a while. Well, I forget the other account that's really bad, but I'm probably gonna go to bed as well because it is 5:30. Oh yeah, the other ones I did audit, just I guess real quick, just because I did say I audited 401k. I audited I did practice revenue audits, like a couple at this point, for different companies. Some for governmental, some for nonprofits like colleges. Governmental is completely different with revenue. Vastly different, completely different rules because it's a governmental entity. We're very strict and completely, very, very, very. It's basically a different type of. I've mainly worked on governmental audits so far, like audit testing so far. So I have never learned shit about. I didn't know anything about governmental accounting. It's completely different rules than base accounting. Sectors matter a ton. I don't know. They got stuff called unrestricted. I will tell you right now. The biggest one is restricted and unrestricted revenue. That is completely different, and it is super difficult. I'm not gonna get into that because that doesn't. Yeah, it's hard. It's much harder. So, governments can't how do governments make money? Well, it's usually through some sort of grants or no. Actually, I meant nonprofits. My bad. Nonprofits, they don't make money regularly. Usually, they will, but they'll make a lot of their money through grants and donations and shit. And a lot of those are gonna have some sort of restrictions on it or non-restrictions. You gotta know. And it's very, very, very tricky. And there's a lot that goes into restricted and non-restricted. I've never heard of nonprofit accounting either until I got here. So, anyways, not gonna get into that. But I will say that the other shit that I audited, so the 401k distributions, contributions, and eligibility. Contributions was by far the hardest thing that I actually did real work on, was for a real client. That was a lot. That was a ton. I enjoyed it. That's the thing that stuck out the most to me, was that one. I mean, I don't get profit. This is for the client, so we bill the client. Me not per. No. Well, they're paying. I'm getting paid by my firm. Whatever, salary or hour. I guess it's a wages. It's not salary. I'm not salaried unless I'm full time. So, but no, this is no. So how it works is there's a fuck ton of different things that you're testing. A lot that goes into it. You gotta gather a ton of information and request a fuck ton of information. But no. So what you're doing. So. But anyways, no. So myself, no, I'm not getting money from the client. The firm is billing the client based on what our billable hours are. No, No, not unless you're a partner. If you're a partner, then yes, whatever the total like pay is, you get some sort. Yeah, if I was there for like 10, 15 years, maybe you gotta get promoted to partner. Yeah, partners are they get actual shares of like the actual profits. Um, Partners usually make a lot of money. Usually they can make good money, but um. So what ends up so 401k contribution plans, very tricky, very difficult to look at. Distributions aren't too bad actually. Eligibility is probably the easiest one. You're making sure that there's employees in that specific company. At least there's individual employees within that company that you're actually looking at from a random sample are actually eligible or they're ineligible, and you're looking at a ton of different characteristics to make sure that they're actually eligible to be enrolled in the 401k plan. That one's easy. That's before you look at contributions and distributions. That's usually the first part of an employee testing thing, and that's a completely different test. So the other things I did, I looked at something called bid law testing, which is, I'm not going to get into that. That is completely governmental. That I can't speak on it really because I don't really understand it. I understand the concept of it, but I don't know I don't know governmental accounting like that, and it is a lot. That one took me like a total of like 8 hours. I think the test, it is long. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's certainly not the easiest, and it's a lot that you're looking through, and it's a lot of it. No, but yeah, it's just there's just a lot in this specific thing. So, and then the other one I did was fixed asset testing. That wasn't bad. That was more so just looking at invoices. A lot of different tips. That's like equipment and buildings and shit. And that one's not too bad. That's usually a lowest area, so you're not gonna test extensively for that because it usually can confirm if a building's there most of the time. Usually it's an invoice, a lot of invoices, or some shipping documents or construction documents, whatever it may be. A lot of, I don't know, but that was what, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, well Daniel, I'm gonna go to bed. I'll go ahead. I don't know. Why didn't it go well? Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is a good one, actually. That is, actually. That is clever. I'll say that is actually very clever. Not me. I probably will tell Preston that tomorrow. Oh, I will. I don't worry, I definitely will. So. No, fuck the clowns. Yeah, well, little children don't know that the clowns are you're fucking Tom Wayne Gacy. So. No, you don't gotta do that. You post what you wanna post, but not a fan of clowns. Weston likes clowns though. Oh, well, yeah, no, no clowns? Yeah, I'll like it if there's no clowns. Yeah? Oh yeah, the plague doctor mask. Yeah. Yeah. That was a sick mask. Yep. Well, good night. Good morning. You too, Burton.
Imagine that. We need to turn the power on. How original. Even close, freak bag! Shit! Running low on ammo! Hoorah! Don't fuck with a Marine! That just never gets old. just what we need, a cluttered battlefield. Fuck you up, freak bag. Touch this! American made, just like me. Told you I wasn't on the menu!
Double points!
Rack 'em up! Yeah, I had my eyes closed that time. It's raining lead on you, puss buckets! Oh yeah, bring it, motherfuckers! I think we gotta link these somehow. Drop it!
15.
Feel that, freak sack! Ah! Die! Die! I'll swim in your skin, maggot whores! I'll grind you up! Feel that, freak sack! Die! Die! sack! I'll swim in your skin, maggot whores! Gotta get back to the mainframe! Rack 'em up! And you are dead! Don't you puss bags get the idea yet?
You have 25 seconds to link this main.
Too bad there's not a hot-sounding chick counting down those numbers. Nice! The door is open! Juice! If you were cool, he'd go pick that up and swing with it. Told you I wasn't on the menu! When I find your master, I'm kicking his ass! Fetch me their soul! Bring it, motherfuckers! Slice them and dice them! Eat it, gutbags! Rip your guts out! Ooh, fucking raw, motherfuckers! Eat someone else, freak bag! Catch you maggots in two! Freak beak bag sucker! Oh yeah! Monkey see, monkey go blow some shit up.
You look friendly.
Freak me tag sucker! Holy shit! Just how much badass is there around here anyway? Eat it, gutbags! Rip your guts out! KIA, maggot sack! Out of your depth, slackjaw! Don't fuck with a Marine! Rip your guts out! KIA, maggot sack! Catching maggots in two! Bag sucker! Stupid zombags! Hell yeah! That was sweet! Great shot! Eat someone else, freak bag! Big bang, big hole. It's time for a little ass whooping. Always hated freaking teddy bears. Not even close, freak bag! Freak dogs! Bring it on! Fetch me their souls! Oh yeah! Bring it, motherfuckers! Told you I wasn't on the menu! You don't mess with a Marine! Get out of my way! Go eat someone else, freak bag! Told you I wasn't on the menu! Anyone want some bad guts? Hoorah! We're dropping like bad habits.
Insta-kill!
Dempsey's Butcher Shop is open for business. You need a little revive. Gun juice is running low. Its arm fell off! Carpenter! See that little guy light him up? Seeing double! Quick, where's a mirror? That'll keep him out for a sec. Hey, someone needs to clean up those freak bits. You don't mess with a Marine! Hell yeah! That was sweet! KIA, maggot sack! my job if I ain't packing heat! Ah, shit! No ammo! Better get me some ammo! Hack-a-punch! Reminds me of a sweet chick I knew once. Not even close, freak bag!
Max ammo!
Why don't someone go turn the power on? That machine belongs in Awesome Town! Someone else, freak bag! Not even close, freak bag! think we need to turn the power on. Hoorah. Don't fuck with a Marine! Gun's getting hungry. Time to feed. Gun juice is running low. Freak bag! Get out of my way! Out of your depth, slackjaw! Get the marshmallows, I'm gonna light them up. Who wants their meat well done?
Double points!
Light them up! You meatheads are too stupid to quit! Burn, baby, burn! Hoorah, devil man! What are the Krauts gonna think up next? Raining brains around here! You don't mess with a Marine! Not even close, freak bag! Raining lead on you, pus buckets! I'm Dempsey, and you are dead. Can't touch this. Gonna need to get some ammo soon. Chew on that, maggot sacks! Dempsey's Butcher Shop is open for business. Anyone want some bag guts? Feel that, freak sack! Told you I wasn't on the menu! KIA, maggot sack! Ah, shit, here come the dogs! Fetch me their soul! needs to clean up those freak bits. See you, maggot bags! Ah, shit. Eat someone else, freak bag! Don't you puss bags get the idea yet? These meat sticks don't know when to quit! Get out of my way! News just in! Dipsy is a fucking badass! Just what we need, a cluttered battlefield! Go eat someone else, freak bag! This is exactly what I needed! Slugs for the slugs. It's diet time. We need to get those linked up. Mainframe, now! Drop it! I'm gonna miss that little guy.
Double points!
Hoorah! Anyone want some bad guts? Told you I wasn't on the menu! Pick that up and swing with it! Hey! Need to clean up on aisle 4! Bring it on, freak bags! Yeah, partner, I'm thirsty. Well, I'm one lucky SOB. Anyone tell you you laugh like a girl? Slackjaw sauce coming up! Freak dogs! Bring it on!
Fetch me their souls!
Much appreciated! You up, freak bag! Hoorah! They're dropping like bad habits! Raining lead on you, cuss buckets! Hell yeah! That was sweet! Oh, this is too easy. KIA, maggot sack! You need a little revive. Someone needs to clean up those freak bits! Sam! Hoorah! Don't fuck with a Marine! Power's out. Let's get turned back on. Hoorah!